You guys want consistency, right? The swing isn't just what happens over the ball, guys. It's the whole flow leading up to that. Does that make sense? Dynamite, guys. So earlier, we talked about every shot has a plan. Doesn't mean the ball's gonna behave. Doesn't mean the plan's gonna come off the way you want it to come off, does it? But you gotta have a plan, okay? I never mind missing as long as I don't miss it before I hit it. Optimism, Denny. Optimism. If I had a superpower, you know what it was? Unrealistic belief in my ability. Isn't that a cool one? There you go. Okay. So guys, what you're going to realize, we do this longer shtick in Phoenix. We show Tiger Woods in the year 2000, who had the most dominating season ever. And you know why it was so dominating? He doesn't even know. But here is a very cool thing that a friend of mine studied that whole year, guys. Tiger would take a practice swing. He would chit-chat with his caddy Stevie, and they'd pick a club. Okay, I pulled a 6-iron. He would stand behind his golf ball about here. He would take a practice swing toward where he was about to hit it. And then he would stand on his target line, guys. My target line isn't the pole, it's the ball. He would choose an intermediate target. And from the moment he took his first step, literally from here, guys, his first step to the moment he touched the ball was always the same time within a couple tenths of a second, which is pretty mind-blowing. Think about that. Discussions and stuff were wildly different. Stevie would say, oh, you know, how about consider hitting it here, consider hitting it there, whatever it was. But from the moment Tiger stood there with club in hand and took his first step toward the golf ball, that's why my comment was, the swing isn't just what happens over the ball, guys. It's the whole flow leading up to that. Does that make sense? So in Tiger's case, he'd pick a club, he would take his practice swing, he would pre-grip the golf club in his left hand, and then he'd start to walk into this thing. He'd pair it with his right hand. He would tip over, aim the face, take a look, set the feet, take a look, put this thing in motion, hit a shot. He'd have an outcome, and then you'd see Tiger, if he hit it good, he'd always kind of spin it and put it in the holster. Okay, and so that's the consistency. You guys want consistency, right? Well, the only thing you can be consistent about is how you approach and handle every shot. I hit that a little skinny. I would like to hit it more solid, but I do everything the exact same way no matter what. Drives my wife crazy. Kidding. No, I don't do that stuff. But you get my point? Like, you guys got to have that same routine. Now, Jim's going to talk a little bit about the differences in setting up for a driver, because we're going to hit some balls for another 20, 30 minutes, and away we go, boys. There's my golf ball. And some of you guys, I'd say half of you guys in this camp, if I pretend I'm hitting it that way, here's my Tiger Woods again, standing there with a perfect left hand. Now, I'm not saying perfect because that's perfect. You can be perfect too. Like, who can't get their damn hand on the golf club perfectly? Anybody? Put your hand up. Okay? You can do this, people. You can get your left hand on a golf club perfectly. Or not. You can fiddle futz with it over here. Tommy, come on over, see right there, buddy. Okay? You can stand there and you go, oh boy, here we go. Okay. Right? Or you can be like Adam Scott or Justin Rose or all these good players that stand there for a moment, and what do they have? A big green check mark. Why? They got a great left hand. That sets the table for everything, fellas. Because now when they walk in, they pair their right hand. That lifeline of the right hand cuddles that left thumb. Look at my staggered little narrow stance. That's perpendicular to the ball, guys. And then I can tip over to do what? Aim my face, take a look, set my feet, take a look. Where's that golf ball, guys? Is it in the middle of my stance? Mike. I got to be careful when I say Mike. There's a few of you. You get my point? That's not in the middle. That's to the left center. See what I mean? Well, a lot of you guys would stand in here and I would see a golf ball kind of a little too far back. Question?
I was one of them.
Yes. Okay, good. He's like, no, I'm identifying myself. So the farther the ball goes back, watch what happens. The farther the ball goes back, that white aim stick's in danger, okay? Because as I walk in with a left hand, pair my right hand with a waggle, hands feel great, There's my little staggered stance, aim the face. I'm just gonna set my left foot forward. I can tell you what, that box of balls, you know, I didn't mean to mishit it completely. I was kind of worried I'd bang it in there. But the farther back the golf ball, the more the thing's gonna wanna start to the right, guys. And not necessarily go low. The only reason that went low is because I missed, and I didn't mean to miss. So I'll do that again. Walk in, pair the hands, aim the face, take a look. That golf ball's off my right instep now. Hit a shot. So there's a nice strike, but you see how that ball started more to the right? Why? Ball was farther back. Tangent was right. Now say I do the same thing with the ball the other way, guys. There's the ball in the back of the divot. Conscious practicer, steward to a good range. Left hand's on nice, check. Walking in, pairing the hands with a bit of a waggle, fellas. Staggered stance, aim the face. Now where's the ball? Way forward. So when I hit this ball, where's this ball gonna go? Yeah, the tangent. What's that?
Straight, didn't curve.
Straight left in the shit, Tom. Okay?
Still in the woods.
Still in the woods, Tom.
That's a damage shot.
Okay, you see what I'm saying,
I use
guys?
hooks and slices.
Okay, well, curving's, you know, face to path differences, okay? So curving, and then Jim will talk about that because he hits fades. So Jimmy, come on up. Talk about your playable fade. Jim was third in the world in long drive in 2018 and won a handful of long drive competitions. And let me hook you up. You got some?
Yeah.
Let me do this though, just because you want to see a little side show for Jimmy here. I'm going to tee it up for Jim here. I want to make sure we tee it up. See what you got.
Put me on the spot here. All right. No, they're way down there. I don't know, man. That's pretty. A little bit.
Whammy, go.
See that ball? You guys didn't travel that far to get to this camp. Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe.
So when we hit driver, guys,
But
it's
no,
a little.
explain that tall stuff though. Why is
different
it a
ball
great
game
lesson,
here.
guys? You'll see this in a second because you don't think about this stuff. And all a good teacher is going to try to do is expose you to something to elevate your thought. That's it. And then you be you and make it your own, okay? So watch what he did here, guys.
So everybody that was here, if I gave everyone a driver and told them to hit this ball, all 11 of you guys would do what I did, where you found a measure, or we call it sweet spotting the club. I'm going to put the sweet spot on the golf ball, okay? Or if the ball was up here, off the ground excessively, you guys, I wouldn't set up to the ball like this. Not one of you guys would set up to it like this.
Does that make any sense at all now that you look at it?
No, because then if I go up, I'd hit it there, and then I'd have to do something. So the problem is we've got these tees that are, 2 1/4, a couple inches off the ground. So that ball's a lot closer to the ground. But when I start to, whether I'm hitting this ball or this one, it's about the same. Yeah, it's about the same. So if I came in here and set the sweet spot behind the ball, sweet spotting it there. Okay. Even here, look what happens when I tap it or put the club on the ground. Where's the sweet spot relative to the ball?
See how that went toey, guys?
Just like if I went up to this one and down, comes down to the same spot, right? It's like when you watch Bryson hit a driver, he's in here and he goes like this. He's tapping the ground, but he's finding a measure down. You'll see it, I call it sort of framing the driver off the toe that way. So when I pick it up, the sweet spot is going to be into the ball that way. So it's important that we do that. Even off the ground shots with an iron, I'm still trying to find a measure, but it's not near as much. But like I'm trying to put this sweet spot onto the ball with a good measure with my arms and with my posture. I'm kind of building all that before I even set my feet, right? So, but the big thing, guys, is being able to, with the driver, I'm trying to hit sort of the same shot every time. It's a specialty shot. Think about it. A driver, let's go through a checklist. You should have a clean ball, or you can get a brand new ball. The surface should be flat, and I get it. You play golf courses where the tee boxes aren't flat, but let's say, it should be a flat surface. The ball's not even on the ground. I can tee it up off the ground, and I can tee it up wherever I want within the space of the tee marker. So the driver, when you go through that should be the easiest club in the bag to hit, shouldn't it? I get a clean ball that's off the ground, and I can put it wherever I want. So, but the problem is, this is the easiest club, or the easiest one to curve, because it's got the least amount of loft. It's moving the fastest. It's hitting highest on the equator of the ball, so it has the least amount of backspin. Therefore, it's easier to curve it. Compared to slicing your sand wedge, it's easier to slice a driver. Does that make sense, guys? So, but driver, once I get good at a shot, you know, whether it's a draw or fade, I typically fade it. I get my path with the driver. I get my path with my setup. I don't, I'll aim it a little left. Like if I'm going green windsock, I'm going to aim to the, in between the green and the blue windsock. So that spot is about this divot right here on the ground. So every shot I hit tee to green, since I can remember when, I've always walked in looking at something on the ground. Every time.
Me too. Same with Tiger, Nicholas, everybody.
You know, I would prime it back here, and every one of you guys got different feels. You guys have all had grip changes. You might feel the club doing something this way or something with your turn or load on the back. This is where, you know, I'm just swinging the club above the ground, getting a feel for what I'm about to do, and trying to connect to my target this way.
Jimmy, should a driver hit the ground?
No,
Ever.
it's not designed to. Like, we'll see people get in here and they'll give it a tactile sort of thwap, right? Which, you know, it doesn't make sense to line it up near the ground if I'm going to hit something that's off the ground, unless I'm hitting a driver off the deck. But for the most part, I'll take a practice swing a foot off the ground way up here, because when I go to hit the ball, I'll tip over a little bit more here. But I'm priming this motion here. So as I stand behind the ball, I'm standing not in the middle of the fairway, but where I want this ball to start, which is right in between the green and blue, which is right off of that, the right edge of that divot. So as I start to walk in, I've got my left hand on the club. I'm going to pair the right hand. I aim that face first. Again, I'm not looking at the golf ball right now. I'm looking at this spot right here. Or you'll see guys look at their spot out in the distance as they're sort of lining this club up. But I'm taking this face and I'm aiming it there. Then I take a look. What do you guys notice about my feet? My feet are together, or you could step in with your right foot. But my right foot is on what we call the ball line here. It's on this line, and I get square to where I want this ball to start. Because we see a lot of people that come in and they get open like this, okay? So I'm getting square to this. I'm getting square to this right here as I'm walking in. I'm getting 90 degrees from where I want that ball to start. I take a look. Then I take a little tiny step with my left foot, and then the biggest step with the right. I'm left, and now I'm going to get my path to go more to the left. I'm just going to open up my stance a little bit. Okay? So now the face is open to my stance line. You guys see that? Where typically when you guys slice it, we're going to do the opposite. I want you to aim to the right and have a face that's kind of close to the stance line so you can intentionally try to hit some sort of draw, right? But anyway, I'm going to aim the face, take a look, set the feet, open up my stance. I take it 2 waggles, eyes down, and go. I'm not going to lie, this thing right here was kind of freaking me out that I was going to hit that. That ball curved to the right. And that was a little bit of an overcut, but I'm going to do that to some degree every single time. Now, I've got 2 shots. I got 2 shots in the bag I hit with driver. I've got a mid-draw or mid-fade and a high one. Like, that's it. I don't really try to curve it. If I need to draw it, I'll take my 17-degree driving iron and turn the face down and try to draw it. Because when I try to draw it with this club, with my setup here, they kind of knuckle, and I tend to overhook them or hit them to the left. But the big differences between a driver and an iron setup, guys, is, you know, being able to understand that I need to get the ball more forward in my stance. But what puts the ball more forward in my stance? I'm going to put the stick up here like this. Here's a ball line, and I know unless you're straight on it to here, you won't be able to really see it, but that's okay. So if I had this iron, like a gap wedge right here. So here's a gap wedge. I'm going to aim the face, take a look, set the feet with an iron. My first step is always the same. It's about the width of my foot right here, or the width of an iron head on the heel. And then here's my second step with a gap wedge. So where's my head relative to the golf ball right now?
Mark, what do you see, bud, since you're...
In terms of like where this is, like my head should be relatively on top of the ball. It might be off of my left eye right now. As I start to widen this right foot, like my irons, it's about the width of my foot here. So here's a wedge, but my 4-iron's probably going to be about the width of my foot. So then my stance is going to get to there. You see how that moves my head a little bit further back behind the ball? Just a little bit. So those are just the little changes that you get throughout the bag. Now, with a driver, this is where I can change the dimension from my left heel, since I'm hitting it off the ground. Now this is where I can put, as I walk in, I'm going to aim the face, take a look. Now at this left step, I might step half the amount or not at all. So now that's really close to my left heel. And now I'm going to have my widest stance with my right foot. Where does that put my head now? Now it's behind the ball. I'm not behind the ball because we see people, their stances are too narrow, and they try to get behind the ball by leaning back this way, or they start with their head too far in front because they've got the ball forward, but then they kind of turn their chest to face the ball, and then their head starts in front of the ball this way. So as I start to widen this stance, my head is behind the ball, and my hips and chest, I call it sort of pre-turning them a little bit. I'm in here like this, where there's a little bit of tilt in my shoulders, but I'm not trying to just like tilt it this way where everything's too far to the right on my right foot. I call it sort of pre-turning my hips and chest. And what do you guys notice about the shaft angle relative to the ball? What's the angle of the shaft doing? It's actually probably leaning back away from the target or straight up and down. I'm not trying to push it too far forward this way because I'm standing most to the right of the ball, just because of where the ball position is. It's off of my left heel this way, where an iron it might be like this. It's closer to my left heel, and I've got the widest right foot, so that puts me more behind it at the start. So I can still move forward, and I can still be quote-unquote behind it so I can hit up on the golf ball, instead of trying to hit up on it by being on top of it and trying to move back behind it that way, which is more of a reverse pivot. Does that make sense? So
I'd say that was probably half of you guys.
Yeah, like we see a lot of...
Ball was a little too far back. You really couldn't go get it. You had to kind of pick it from staying back a little bit too much.
So, yeah, and when the ball gets too far back, yeah, you might hit him too far to the right, or, you know, and your face is open anyway, so then you have to sort of hang back and try to save it and square it that way. So there's a combination of things on why you can hit a ball to the right or slice it, whether it's your grip, ball position, or your swing plane being too steep. I know you guys have probably gotten some sort of feel with, as you're coming down the club, feeling more this way or shallowing, right? Have you guys gotten any sort of feels with that? Probably at least half of you. So
this ball, guys, thank you, Jimmy. We're going to get to hitting some shots, but do we ever have to hit a golf ball up there? Yeah, you know, hopefully not, but
bush or something.
every once in a while. So there's a golf ball that, you know, isn't level to my feet. And the interesting thing is, where is that loft pointing now, guys? Where's that loft pointing? It's designed to point straightish if the clubs are built nicely for me in the play position when the clubs are even with the soles of my feet. But as I incrementally go up, say a ball's on a slope up here, where's that loft pointing now, fellas? Yeah. So if I just hit this nicely up here, this is great practice because you'll learn a lot of lessons about, you know, finding the sweet spot in space, finding a radius, putting this on the ball, and then the ball did, you know, what it was supposed to do, because that's where the loft was pointed, right?
Moist.
It's, oh, you know, I should have said it's a little moist. Yeah, might slip off there. So you can start to see where loft starts to point when not in the play position, or it can be below my feet sometimes, okay? And so that's the thing, like, the sad thing about a golf camp is we train you here a lot, but the good news is in 20 minutes, we're gonna start messing with you on the golf course. And then we go play golf, it's not golf. You're gonna maybe hit 2 balls off a tee, and then maybe we even skip a hole, or maybe we skip a tee shot and go hit 3 balls into a green, or we go behind a tree and talk about how we get it to go, or, you know what I mean? For some of you, it's harder than because it's built in already. right? And then the low one is easier. It was hard for you, some of you guys, because you're not used to kind of being on top of the golf ball. And that's where hopefully we can take some of these elements of good hands. You know, it's good to have a fellow Ethan, the fellow griptator in the watching this camp, and all my guys, because we are freaks about this stuff. So we're going to stay on you about this, okay? And you may suck for 2 days. Denny, it's okay, buddy. Really is. Denny's like, I'm frustrated. I'm like, Denny, forgive me, okay? You sucked when you got here, buddy. It's okay. You laid the sod over it
Can't get any worse.
before we even talked to you. I got a video proof of it. Doesn't mean I don't love you. Just means you hit that far behind it and the divot flopped over the ball. And so all we're doing is having experiences, guys, to hopefully go, hey man, this is different. I get it. And then post camp, we'll teach you how to use your app so you can watch your videos and you can say, hey coach, got a question. Hey coach, I posted a swing. Cool. Because we thumb through those and we watch them, and sometimes I just say, way to go, you know, keep doing what you're doing, or sometimes I turn the camera back on me and I kind of express what I would change a little bit. See what I mean, guys? This is a developing event. There's feels, there's awarenesses, there's all kinds of crazy stuff, and then there's a cute beverage cart girl too, probably. So enjoy your day, boys. Get frustrated, be different, ask questions. That's it for now. Hit some balls. Music's gonna go on for a little bit, and then we're gonna go tee it up, okay? Good.